opportunities don't always come in a paycheck. If I don't have it, I make a way with what I do have. Literally turn your lemons into lemonade and sell that ish. Even in the time of adversity, you can't let your circumstances make you feel down to the point you don't do shit. Even when I was dead broken, it didn't seem like I was going to get a return out of it immediately. I still put everything into it because what you put in is what you get out. So in any dream, before I think of fear, you just want to think of, am I holding myself back at this point?
Hey, this is Raina Campbell, your Chief Dream Driver, and welcome to the No Parking Podcast, where through conversations and discussions with creators like yourself, we'll find interesting approaches to help you take your dreams out of park, put them in drive, and ride towards success. Hey, Dream Drivers. Welcome to episode 155 of the Dreams and Drive podcast. On last week's episode, we spoke with writer Alex Wolf on the art of resonating and how to build an audience. She shared so many gems, so I encourage you all to go back and listen if you missed that one. Today, we are going to be chatting with Starr Dawkins, entrepreneur, entertainer, and CEO of Sweet Cookies Wash, an all-natural feminine wash and vaginal product line. And Starr is going to talk about how she learned to create opportunities, keep going despite hurdles she faced, and why she stopped holding herself back and started living life fearlessly. She talks about her journey from launching a sex blog in college to collaborating with a local comedian on projects that help her grow her audience, and then how she dove into entrepreneurship and launched her own product line. And what's even more exciting is that the day before we interviewed, Nicki Minaj reposted an impersonation video that Starr did, and it went viral. So there's so much that we talk about. To me, Starr is a definition of a hustler, a dream driver who sees the world as possibility and is willing to do whatever it takes to succeed. So if this is your first time listening, please make sure that you are following us on social. We're Dreams and Drive across the board on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And make sure to use the hashtag Dreams and Drive and tag us when sharing. I love seeing you guys share. And now with this new Instagram update, I can now automatically repost all the stories that you're tagging me in on, okay? All right, so we're back to doing giveaways this week. I've been currently reading Charlemagne the God's book, Black Privilege, Opportunity Comes to Those Who Create It, and I'm loving it. So I wanted to give away a copy to one of you lucky listeners. So if you want to enter to win, all you have to do is go to dreamsanddrive.com/win. That's dreamsanddrive.com/win to enter. All right. Don't forget about doing it. Do it right now as you listen. As always, our show notes are available at dreamsanddrive.com, and you can click on episode 155 to get links to everything that we talk about in this episode. If this is your first time listening, please make sure that you are also subscribed. So wherever you're listening, whether it be Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, Google Play, Spotify, wherever, hit subscribe so you get notifications every time we have a new episode. You guys are going to love hearing from Starr. Just one note, there may be some language in here that isn't appropriate for young ears, so I just want to give you guys a heads up. Hey, Starr, welcome to this episode of Dreams and Drive. I'm so excited to have you on today.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm good. As I was saying before, this is a long time coming, but it's finally here and it's the right time, right?
And it was perfect timing. God, we can't mess with God's timing. We're rushing, we're wondering when it's going to happen, but I think you couldn't have picked God couldn't have picked a better time.
Right. And listeners, you guys will know why it's the perfect time in a little bit. But how I like to start all our interview stars going back in time, right? I want you to reflect. Tell me what was inspiring the young Starr? What was the dream back then as like a 10-year-old?
Acting. Acting, music, dancing, anything to do with being in front of people. And I knew even at that age that my gift was to entertain people as just a personality, whether it be a talk show. I just knew being in front of people, that's what it was.
Did you ever were you one of those kids who were putting on their own plays, putting on their own little sets? I know I had a girl band group. I couldn't sing, but I still had a girl band group, you know? I was the manager.
I can't remember if I was putting on, I think I would put on everything. If I had no audience, I would line my dollies up and I would talk to them. I would play church, act like the pastor. Since then, I've just been a character. Like, it intrigues me to like imitate, just jump into different personalities rather than just living my everyday reality. That's kind of boring.
And your family's Jamaican, right?
Yes. And I'm also Jamaican.
Oh, you were born in Jamaica? Wait,
yes.
I didn't know you were born in... I always wondered how your accent was so good. Like, I'm like, oh, it's not even like, you know how Americans who try to like put on, like, I have a horrible Jamaican accent, but it's like yours always sounds so authentic. I never knew. Okay. When did you come up here?
When I was a kid. But the thing about living in Florida, you're in Jersey, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how Jersey is, but in Florida, well, you know, you're not in Jamaica because of the location and the stuff, but I grew up around Jamaican stuff. My first time really feeling and getting to become American is when I went to college. I didn't even know what grits was until I went to college, and I'm 18 years old. I didn't know what freaking sweet, what is it? What they do with the sweet potato, and what do they call it again?
Sweet potato pudding? Oh, candy yams?
Yes, candied yams. I didn't know. It's so much I didn't know. Like, and even my college boyfriend, he did something like he made dishwater, and I was so grossed out by it. I'm
what's
like,
dishwater?
What? Girl, I think it might be like a Southern thing. It's where they fill the sink up with water, put dish soap in it and bleach in it, and put all the dishes in there. Yeah, I don't know, but growing up in South Florida, I don't feel like I really left Jamaica, so probably that's where I still have the accent, whatever.
And it's still tropical.
Funny.
Yeah, it's not like you up here. You got to be battling snowstorms and all that other stuff.
As you say, I have a good Jamaican accent. The problem is, though, I'm not Jamaican enough for Jamaicans, and I'm not American enough for Americans, so I'm always kind of left out.
What did your Jamaican family think about your dreams of wanting to be a star at a young age?
They thought it was retarded. Hello, I'm Jamaican.
Yeah, I know.
Take your book.
That's why I have to take your book.
Take your book.
Take your book and read.
Go and take your book. Accent, no. Where that can go. I remember one time I was young and I went to this casting and they wanted to move me to Cali. They wanted me to star a show. They wanted me to be a part of their agency and everything. And my mom was like, she's not packing up and going to Cali. She don't know nobody in Cali. Da, 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 da. That's not a real thing for her.
So when you went to college, how did that dream evolve? Were you still trying to pursue that? Or were you like, all right, let me take the safe route?
I think college is a dream killer. And it really just was for me because, to be honest, I forgot about acting. It's like I was always a character. I didn't have a place to channel it. And it was a very depressing time for me because, you know, when you're in high school and elementary school, you have like drama club and this, that, and whatever. In college, it's so hard for you to be a part of clubs and stuff like that in your spare time because you got schoolwork, you trying to party, you trying to have a boyfriend, you trying to drink, you trying to this, you trying to that. So it really took away from my dream. I always been like a seller hustler type of girl. I didn't even have that mentality anymore. It really wasn't a good time for me on a spiritual type of level.
So when was the moment? Because I feel like I'm trying to remember, how did I first learn about Starr? I think it was when you started doing videos for Andrew Trabas. Like, when was the moment? Maybe it could have been before that, but when did you start reigniting that flame for entertainment and starting to get a little bit of that hustle back in you? It's
when I was graduating college and I realized I don't want to work for nobody. I don't know what I want to do. The first thing I did was start a sex blog. At the time, my name was Sex Dr. Starr on Instagram. So I was getting a lot of, kind of light shed on me from that.
What made you want to do a sex blog? Like, what was why sex blog out of anything you could have blogged about? Why sex blog?
Because I'm sexual. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm just asking, was that because some people have a hard time figuring out what is it they even want to start doing. So what was your thought process behind that?
For some reason, I've always been a sex nerd. I want to learn about sex stuff. And in college, sometimes you're amongst a group of girls that they don't know nothing about sex. They're just trying to learn too. So I became the person that my friends go to talk about sex. And I'm very open. You don't find much people open about sex. So because I was so open, I realized it was like this exciting thing for people. Like, it was my way of performing. Talking about sex just got people like, oh my God, she's doing it. Oh my God, like she said that, da 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 da. So when I seen the way the campus reacted to it, I said, hey, I should start a blog. I should get this thing popping. And I should have people send in sex stories and comment on it. And I should make, videos. And my blog went crazy in the college world because someone sent in a story about Deltas, the sorority, about them, giving oral sex underwater. And I was like, yo, I'm learning that skill. Da-da-da. Shout out to the Deltas. Deltas got mad at me, wanted to jump me and fight me because they didn't want that type of attention. But them getting mad made my stuff go through the roof, like with views. Like people in colleges all over kind of knew about it. Mm-hmm. So there, I was like, yeah, I could do this business thing. I could, maybe get people to run ads on my site, da-da-da-da-da. But, as we go back to, it still wasn't fulfilling what I knew my purpose was. So I didn't know how I was going to get back into acting, and I wasn't really thinking about it when I was visiting Fort Lauderdale, and one of my friends hit me and was like, yo, my friend is in town from New York. He does these videos. He's looking for a girl to act in it. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'll do it. I love acting. I had no idea who Andrew Trabas was. Mm-hmm. None. We meet. I'm like, oh, okay, this funny Jamaican nigga, cool. We get in my community. He tells me what he has in mind, and he was improving, and I love improv. So I'm like, great. And once he sees me get into action, he's like, yeah, I love you. I love it. This is going to be great. And
it's funny because it's funny you say that because I know he has a Jamaican accent. So I'm like, that's probably not how he said it, right? But I'm thinking of his voice. I interviewed him back in 2014 when he was still in New York. So I'm just thinking of his voice as he's saying it. Okay, I'm sorry for interrupting you, girl.
No, it's okay. He definitely did not say it like that. It was more like, yes, like that, yes. That's all. But yeah, we immediately connected. Our first video was him putting me in a trunk of a car because he wanted to get some vagina, and I cussed him out and whatever. And after I cussed him out, he put me in a suitcase and put me in the trunk of a car. Video went viral, went crazy. I went back to college. He was back doing what he was doing. We kept in contact, but it wasn't nothing, major. I had to finish school. When I finished school now, that's when shit really kicked off. We linked up again. He had just moved to Florida. We did a video that probably, that was super viral. It was basically me giving head to him in the car. Did you see that one? Mm-hmm. So that was crazy. That was a crazy video. And the funny part about that is I knew he was popular because we followed each other on Instagram, but I didn't realize the magnitude. My grandma was like,
oh, Lord.
Are you having sex in the car on video? Because they don't know the name of the app.
Yes. What is this thing? This internet, right? The internet.
So them say I have sex on video. So I'm no, what are you talking about? Then my mom comes to me with it, and then I'm like, oh, the video I did with the guy. Yeah, I did do that, but it wasn't real. I wasn't really doing it. It was just comedy. I love acting. And then how I poisoned my parents was that I said, what's insulting is that your Christian people at church sitting there talking about me, but they watch Halle Berry do all types of stuff in the movies, and everybody loved Halle Berry. So what if I'm the next Halle Berry? It's the first step to it. Leave me alone type of thing. I ain't say leave me alone to them, but they respected that. They're like, what, you right. This is you. This been you. And, from there, they just kind of let me be, let me live.
And then you went on to do more videos with him, and that's how you were growing your own following, right?
Right. So the following grew as our presence on YouTube grew. We had a hit web series called Jezebel, and it was seeing over 1 million views in 24 hours.
Yes, I love that. It came out every week, and then it was I remember that one. What was it like working? Because I feel like a lot of us, younger creatives, people who are trying to get our names out there, sometimes we're scared to put stuff out. You guys are really going guerrilla style and just putting things out, even if it wasn't 100%. You didn't have to have the expensive ass cameras, but you still were putting things out and people were still watching. What was that whole process like for you getting back into acting and being a part of that production?
For me, honestly, I'm naturally fearless, but I didn't know what was mediocre and what was not mediocre. I'm a theater actor. I grew up in theater and church acting. So film, it was just like, oh my God, these people know all these cool film editing stuff. I thought their shit was top line shit.
No, but I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm just saying, like, you know, it wasn't like, you know how like you think of like it was more like independent style, right? Like they weren't spending like loads of money to do it. They were doing it within their budget and still putting out quality stuff. That's what I meant by that.
To me, it was really inspiring. That process was really inspiring, and to this day now, to see the way that Andrew works with what he has so much, it encourages me. Every situation that I'm in to this day, if I don't have it, I make a way with what I do have. Literally turn your lemons into lemonade and sell that ish.
When was the moment for you during this period where you're like, let me be strategic about how I'm positioning myself and how I'm building the brand the following that you were developing? Like, when did you realize, like people really like me? Like I have something here. Like maybe I could do more with it.
I don't think there was ever that like realization. Mm-hmm. And I say that because it wasn't all right. When I started even doing the videos, it wasn't like okay, well, let me do more stuff to get the attention of people or to start a business. Since I have this attention, let me whatever. You know, I was just being me. In all honesty, I was just doing me and being me, and people gravitated to it. And, you know, Andrew told me one time, he's like, you know, I do videos with lots of people. A lot of friends have been in my videos, but people are drawn to you. You know, you have something special, like you're really talented, you know? And in those moments, in that time when I just graduated college, mind you, I had nothing going on. Me knowing that I was talented like that, it made me move to California. So it didn't really make me think what strategy next. It was more of, okay, well, shit, I'm the shit. I feel it. Let me move to Cali. That failed, but you know, it boosted my confidence to do courageous things. It didn't really, I wasn't thinking branding yet.
Okay. You know what? Let me pause you right there and tell you. So I'm cool with Andrew's manager, Leighton. And, you know, he was the one who connected us. And it's funny because he told me, he was like, Raina, like, you need to connect with Starr because like, he was like, wherever she goes and anywhere she goes, she's able to capture people's attention. She has something. And he said that to me about you. So it's funny how you said Andrew also said that. So it's good to see that people see things about you sometimes that you may not even realize the magnitude within yourself. What was like, I remember, I think I was following you on Snapchat at this point. I remember when you were posting about, I think you had a YouTube series where you were talking about like moving to California or like vlogging about that experience. Yep. Why Cali? Like, I'm like, this girl is fearless. She only got like $20 in her pocket and she's like, I'm going to California. I would have been scared. I would have stayed in Jersey, right? But you did it. Like, can you talk us through that experience? And like, what were some of the biggest things that you learned during that time?
Yeah, being fearless, but a lot of times being fearless comes from when you have nothing to lose. One of the lowest periods of my life, my mom was losing her house. I knew I didn't want to work for nobody. I knew I'm just going to go. I'm going to follow my dreams. Like you said, Leighton said, and Andrew said, and even when I was working at the diner in my college, my boss just said, Starr, when you walk in, there's something. I don't know what it is, but we're in a meeting and everyone just turned their head when you walked in and we don't know why. And I was thinking of all those things and I said, I have to go. I have to go. I can't be scared no more. You know, my parents held me back, but now I'm grown. Who's going to hold you back? Yourself. So in any dream, before I think of fear, you just want to think of, am I holding myself back at this point? And that's how I felt. I was holding myself back. But now let's flash forward when I got to Cali, I realized a valuable lesson. Preparation is key. It's great to jump in and dive in sometimes, but sometimes you should be prepared because, you know, people have two methods. They throw their kids in a pool and they either sink or swim, or they throw them in with a floaty. You're prepared. You're going in water. You brought your floaty. It's, you know, you're still going to be scared because you didn't want to go in the water, but you have your floaties. You're equipped. So I personally feel like I could have been more successful in California if I had my floaty. because I didn't really have a real place to stay. Luckily, I was friends with Paige. We met. I was an assistant to a celebrity nail stylist, and she worked there as well. And they did Black China's nails. Paige moved to Cali and was staying with Black China for a while and was like, Starr, I'm so proud of you for doing this. Come stay with us. Come chill with us. So for my first 3-4 days in Cali, I was at Black China's house. Mm-hmm. Then, you know, she was pregnant at the time. She had a lot going on. She's filming a show with Rob. She's doing whatever. So I know I couldn't be comfortable in that position. Then I had an Airbnb, not an Airbnb, like basically a bunk bed. Mm-hmm. I rented like a bunk bed.
Like a hostel kind of? Was it a hostel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. And when I got there, they said, oh, I took too long to check in. They thought I wasn't coming and they gave that bed away. So, oh my God, I could have cried. And I didn't know what to do. I'm like, where am I going to sleep? It's nighttime. So I said, wow, I do remember this guy from college that lives here that goes to USC. I guess it would be far-fetched to reach out to him. Like, I know him. We've been on a date before. Like, we're cool. But imagine trying to reach out to a dude, like, you know, that you...
Hey!
So, right. So, but I did. I was like, oh, what can I lose? I did. And he was like, Starr, you're a mad woman. You're going to stay here. You're going to stay with me. I have a couch. I can't offer you a whole last room, but I have a couch. And I agreed with him that I would try to look for a side job and do gigs. And I would, you know, stack the house with groceries and I would clean. You know, Jamaicans, we could clean. Yes. That's all I could offer you. And I was staying there, but staying with him didn't work out. And then after 2 months, I had to leave. But I will say this, even in the time of adversity, you can't let your circumstances make you feel down to the point you don't do shit. Because while I was there, I got on the Amber Rose show. I was one of the, like, you know, when they highlight people in the show, like I was one of the people there highlighted. What else did I do? I feel like I ended up working with Keke Palmer's acting coach.
How did you get all these opportunities? Like, what were were you just out here like going to casting calls and like or on the internet?
No. And here's the common misconception with Cali that I thought I was going to go out there and I would see posters around casting calls. Girl, you have to sign up for websites and you have to pay to be on these websites monthly and submit your headshot. And if they interested, they will contact you. And then you go to the audition, the casting call, all of these different things. But I didn't have no money to get on these websites. So there's other sites now where they'll pay you like $10 an hour to sit in the audience of shows. And that's how I ended up on the Amber Rose show. I'm trying to remember how I found them out. Because I just was trying to talk to people. Like I was just always trying to figure stuff out. Once I realized, okay, I could sit in the audiences for like 5 hours and get $50. Cool, great. I can help out with this guy's groceries and feed myself. And, you know, and then it was hard because I was trying to look for a job and didn't have no good job clothes to look, you know, like what do I wear to I didn't even have no makeup. So that's when my friend Paige was at Black China's house. She's like, girl, we got wigs. We're giving you a wig. I'm going to do your nails. You can't be out here with your nails looking crazy. Like,
was the dream to make it in Hollywood? I don't think I think I knew what it was, but I realized that we didn't talk about it explicitly. What was the dream even going into
it was,
Cali?
It was. That's why I started vlogging. Because it was like, I'm going to show y'all how you go from 0 to popping. We're going to do this. And I showed them, just not in that way.
Okay, so back to Paige gave you wigs, Paige did your nails, and what happened?
And then I was just kind of out there. I would take I would try to Uber. That's what I was doing with my money. I would try to Uber and go Uber to job interviews. And then that's when my sex blog thought kicked back in. I remember when I did a blog on Kegel balls and got everyone interested. I sort of had a following from doing videos with Trabas. So I had probably like 1,000 people on my Snap. And I started telling them, you know, I'm going to start selling Kegel balls. I went downtown and I found a sex store to sell Kegel balls. And it's easy to get wholesale stuff in LA. So I started selling Kegel balls. But the post office was so fucking far. And I was walking to the post office, and walking back to the guy's house. And it was just a real drag. And then even though I did find the acting coach on Instagram, you know, his classes cost money to be there. And I felt effed up. And this is one thing I could say about Hollywood. I'm not even going to mention his name, but I felt ripped off because they had a showcase, a talent showcase. And they were telling you how much important people are going to be in the building. This is your time to shine. This is your time to do whatever. Da, 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 la, la, la. After the showcase, you know, you're trying to meet and network with these so-called important people, right? They're saying, oh yeah, they do films. They do da, 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 da. You get their names. I'm detective. I find them on Facebook. I follow their Instagram. Their followings are little to none. You see who they're following. You see what they post about. You see it's nothing to do with showbiz. So at the moment, I felt played because they made this showcase seem like, you know, let's get this shit together. Like you had to audition to even be a part of it. So I felt like this was something big. I'm going to be performing in a theater again. This is dope. They tell you sell tickets, invite your family and friends and sell the tickets to come.
What?
And all these different. Yeah.
It must have mad.
But I didn't sell no tickets. But really, I think it was just for the company to have footage. That's another big thing in Cali. You're trying to make it out there. It's a lot of shady shit that goes on. So you never know who's real, who's what, because this guy had like a real thing set up to the point where now on his page, I don't even see where it says like Keke Palmer's acting coach or previous acting coach anymore. Or, you know what I'm saying? So it's just a lot of questions in my brain that went unanswered.
So when was the moment where you're like, you know what, let me go back to Florida?
I didn't really necessarily have that moment. The person I was staying with said I couldn't stay anymore.
Okay. How did you feel? Like, you know, on that flight back home, what was the game plan for you? I
took what I call an inspiration vacation.
Mm-hmm.
So I fed all my friends that I kind of grew up with or knew from college that was dead freaking broke like me, that ends up in the NFL or, you know, on top of their game in their college class. They're making money. They're in a good position. And I visited them, and it was inspirational for me. One of my friends, he let me drive his Range Rover to the grocery store. And sitting in the Range Rover, I'm like, oh my God, I'm sitting in the Range Rover. I started manifesting immediately. And like, this is my range. This is my range. Later on, I was like, damn, bitch, you don't even really want a range, but whatever. Manifest that shit. So it was great because I know that in college, when he lost his car, he would borrow my car or ask me to pick him up from places. Or if he ran out of money because he wanted to send his family money, I would help stock him up with groceries. Mm-hmm. So to see him being able to turn around and do it for me, it gave me inspiration. And then my friend, he was like a star player on Alabama's football team, and he was living great. He's just like, Starr, just come stay. You know, me and my girlfriend will be showing you around, whatever. You know, you don't got to worry about food. You don't got to worry about nothing. Just come. Just, you know, we're here for you. I stayed there for like a weekend or a week or something like that. And then I went to Tallahassee, and that's where I went to college. And I wanted to see how that made me feel. I wanted to see if there's anything in me that wants to pursue school again or wants to, you know, get a master's degree or something. And nope, I had no feeling. I felt like everybody was bummed down. I was like, these people ain't doing nothing but still going to parties and still going to football games and drinking beer and playing beer pong. Fuck this. I'm better than this. Not to say that I'm better than people. I'm just better than this. And people are better than that too. They just choose to stay in that position. Yeah. And then when I came back to Florida, Trabas was happy. Yo, we linking up again. Great. And then, you know, from there, it's just been, yeah.
So I know, did you, just so I have this timeline right, when did you launch Cookie Wash?
So let's say I left California in September.
Okay.
Right. Got back to Florida from my inspiration vacation in, let's say, end of October. Right.
This is 2016 or 2017?
2016.
Okay.
We're in year 16. End of October. That's when I started talking to the people about I have a vaginal care routine because remember, I'm selling Kegel balls. I was selling Kegel balls. So people are asking me about vaginas now. And I'm always drinking coconut water when I got back home. So I'm always saying, ladies, coconut water make your cookie wet, well, not cookie, but at the time.
Yeah.
Then they're like, okay, so what else, tell us more about vaginas. And I'm like, well, I don't use soap down there. I use this stuff I make. They're like, what is it? And I told everyone the ingredients. Like, I didn't think of a business. They're like, okay, how about you just sell it instead? Like, people started messaging me that. And I'm like, great idea. But so now remember, that's end of October 2016. I couldn't think of a name. I found where I could get the ingredients for a bulk order. I found the bottles. I found so much stuff, and I couldn't think of a damn name. Couldn't think of a label. Couldn't think of nothing. How you going to start something without a name? What you going to call it? Soap?
Like, you could call it Untitled.
Right. So that held me up for a while. Yeah, end of October, my mom literally about to lose the house now for real. Like, we got a few months. By the end of the year, we got to be up out of there. November, I started really doing a lot of videos with Travis. Was doing videos like crazy.
Were those paid or were y'all just collaborating on that? I always wondered that.
No.
Okay.
No. We just collaborated.
Okay.
I feel like he was paying me because I was sleeping over there and his wife was cooking for me. I feel like that's the pay.
Yeah.
I mean, barter system.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it's good. Like, sometimes you have to do that, right? You don't always have to pay people, but y'all both were getting something out of it in a good way, right? Like, he needed you to be in the videos, and you guys were working off each other's energy. So it always works out like that.
I'm glad you said that, because I'm a stick a pin in my story, but for the listeners, what she said was so powerful. You don't always have to be paid. Opportunities don't always come in a paycheck.
Yep.
I think a lot of people always forget that. Anywho. So November, doing hella videos. December, he has his party coming up in Jamaica, December 2016. This is his first time going back to Jamaica since he left. Of course, he wants everyone there that he fuck with. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to come. Cool. At that time, I met Lincoln in October when I went to Jamaica. Someone booked me to go to Jamaica. So I was staying with my current boyfriend now, Lincoln, with him. And Lincoln is the one that really pushed me to start my business in January 2017. So I did end up starting the cookie wash thing at the end of November, but it was like 10 or 20 orders. And then I stopped it because I was going to Jamaica for like 3 weeks in December. So I wasn't serious about it. And I didn't even know if it was the right thing to do, because I came up with the name because I was crying in the bed and just frustrated and was just like, God, I'm just broke and I'm horny and I want my cookies ate. And when I said it, I literally stopped crying and I said, cookies ate, cookie soap, cookie wash, cookie this, sweet cookies, cookie jar, my goodies. I started singing Sierra, my goodies, and trying to think of lines and whatever. So I wasn't sure about it. And then I was getting bottles from Amazon. So I wasn't seeing no real profit. It wasn't a business that I thought I was going to do for real. So December 2016, I told Lincoln my idea about, this vagina soap. And I told him, I like something called vaginal semen. And that's why my cookie's so tight, wet, all these things. And he was like, just go for it. Just do it. So January 2017 is when I really put the pedal to the metal, and the people effed with me, and I loved it. And from there, it's just been great.
Why do you think they effed with you so much? What do you think your audience really loves about the way you do business and who you are as a person?
Girl, that's a great question. I really don't know, because the very same reasons that people say they love me, it's like, all my life, that was the reasons people hate me. So I'm always scared that one day everyone's going to wake up and say, I hate this girl. She's so extra. She's always marketing too extra. She's always crazy and saying whatever she feels like saying. So it's like, I want to say that's why they love me, but I'm scared to say that. if that makes sense.
No, I understand because you never know, right? Like some people might like you for one thing and those same people might say, but that's why I don't like her. So I definitely understand. But like you said they like your marketing. What were some of the things that you realized were working in order to bring on new customers and to keep the business steadily growing?
Me talking, because I say certain stuff, and because while I'm ratchet, but I'm sophisticated. You know, I'm bougetto. So I'm gonna come to you with facts, the proper facts. Your labia, your vulva, you know, it flows through your uterus. Da 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 da. I'm gonna come to you with the facts, but then I'm gonna also say, and bitch, you know your pussy not perfect, so you need to order my shit. So it's just a blend of this person is educated and knows her stuff, but she's also funny with her information and her delivery. She can give it to us both.
From a logistics perspective, what were some of the challenges that you had to kind of walk through just in launching? And because it's an e-commerce business, you had to deal with shipping, all that back end stuff, like international shipping. Like, can you tell us a few of those challenges you faced and then how you worked through those?
Girl, do you know my first time, I didn't know really how to run the website, and I didn't put shipping for international.
People were ordering international. So that was coming out your margins then, right? They were coming out of your...
Yes.
So you're making no money, basically. Or maybe you lost money.
I lost money. I had 2 or 3 international orders from Canada at the time, and I lost it. Then I didn't know about padded envelopes. So I was putting it in paper envelopes, and sometimes like the pump would poke out because I didn't have a pump with a cover yet. Poke a hole through it, and then it would actually start pumping out soap and then get thrown out. Then even with shipping, I didn't know how to calculate the cost of shipping because I didn't know about flat rate shipping. So I would be losing money when I'm shipping. And then even stupider, I didn't know about printing labels for shipping. So I would wait in line with like 30 packages.
No, girl. No.
And handwrite each of them.
But you know what? You have to go through those things sometimes, right? Like I even know with me, with Dreams and Drive gear, I was handwriting things in the beginning, going to the post office, and they were like, you could go online, right? Or, you can do this with PayPal, or you can do this with whatever your app is that you do your e-commerce stuff. But I feel like there's something that you learn with doing it the long way and the hard way at first.
I agree with you. I think it makes you appreciate the easy way more, because when I hear people complain about the easy way and I realize that's the first way they knew, I just look at them and I just be like, you freaking ungrateful bastard.
But one thing I want to ask you though is, I know because I follow you on Snapchat and Instagram. At one point you had a store, like your friend and you went into a venture together. I think you were at a smaller shop and then you moved into a bigger shop. What happened with that? Like, was that something that just didn't pan out, or it was just more cost effective to take things in-house and to do everything online?
So my store, it was actually going good. I opened during back to school, so the traffic wasn't that great at first, but it was really picking up. Like September, I was looking to be booked. Oh my God. Then I don't know if I think my store was open for 2 months. And basically what happened is, I hate talking about this, whatever.
But we don't have to if you don't want to. I was just curious.
It's not that it's bad. It's just, okay. So basically what happened is my boyfriend's ex or somebody kept calling the city and telling them that basically they said that I'm offering vagina stuff to kids and playing it off as cookies.
And they believed them? Or they believed the person and came after you guys?
So what happened is I said, no, that's not true. Luckily, I knew somebody from the city, and they're like, I know, but here's the problem. The services you offer here, we don't know if that's, like, who is that by? Like, does it fall under a cosmetology license? Does it fall under esthetician license? A business, where does this...
Do you need a permit? Do you have to have a special... Okay, I get what you're saying.
But doesn't line up anywhere. There's no law anybody can pull up about, V-steaming and say this, da, 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 da. unless the city wants to be, technical. If anything, it aligns with the health department. They wanted me to go through and have a certain type of licensing in order to keep the business running. I'm not going to cosmetology school. I'm not going to esthetician school just to run a business, because that's not my dream goal. It's not to work in that shop or to, necessarily even have a shop. That's not, it was just something that I did that would be profitable, that I know people would want. And I just didn't fight with it. I wasn't willing, because my friend, she is an esthetician. I could have turned it over in her name or whatever, but I'm not comfortable doing that. You hear so many times about people falling out and someone taking some business because it's in their name. They're the legal one, Mm-hmm. So I left it alone. And, since I have left it alone, it's less of a bill, and it's allowing me to focus more on my product growth.
That makes a lot of sense. And two lessons I have there is sometimes there will be unexpected hurdles, right? But at the same time, maybe that store was just a temporary stop along your road, right? Like you may have thought, exactly, oh, this is going to be long term, but maybe you needed that store for a certain time. And now moving forward, it's part of your story, but it also was the thing that will help you get to where you are today. And then number two is, some people are just haters. That's what I think, right? Like some people you're going to have haters. You're going to have people who want to tear you down, but I'm pretty sure that girl now is probably looking stupid because look where you are now, right? Like it didn't kill you.
It's like unstoppable. My grandma, she'll always tell me, tell them that you have a praying grandmother. So whatever they're trying, them and the devil is trying, I intercepted it with the Lord already.
So at this point, what was what was the time period? You were shifting things back to doing things in-house, not having a store. What was your mindset like? Like, what were you thinking? Like, what's the game plan now? You already went to Cali. That didn't work out. You had the store. That didn't work out. What was Starr hustling now towards?
Right now, I want Cookie Wash to be the flat tummy tea of Instagram at this point. Mm-hmm. I'm just so.
But it works though. I mean, Cookie Wash actually works, and I don't know about flat tummy tea.
Yeah, I'm not saying that in the terms of it working. I mean, you see how flat tummy tea is everywhere. That's how I want my product to be, simply everywhere, in the hands of everyone. I want it to be the Fashion Nova of vaginas. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's honestly it. I just want my product to grow. Yeah, and even just my business, because right now, even though my business has grown, I still don't feel that it's that as big as it is. And even though I'm appreciative of where I am, I can't feel like that because I'm no longer in like a real building, an office building, and I don't have employees. Mm-hmm. So I feel like, damn, it's not, well, I have employees, but not packaging and labeling for me.
So you want to know? No. Let's take a little time there. Like when you think of businesses that really, or people that really inspire you, like what's somebody that comes to mind, like a business or like a brand beyond Fashion Nova or beyond a flat tummy tea that really like you admire how that person's hustle or that person's grit?
So I love Amore Jada on Instagram. I love Judy that does Kaleidoscope hair products. I don't know if you're familiar with it. And I'm currently other girl. She is bomb. She does edge control. She's like really just taking over now too. I'm really into just the girl boss movement, and simply because, on Instagram, you don't know people's whole entire life. Oh, I also like Jay Nice. Jay Nice, I love her. She's inspiring too. But you don't know people's whole life, but certain things that other women entrepreneur post, I can read in between the lines of, because I sort of know how they're feeling. But they're feeling even more pressure than me because, what's that saying? It's kind of like you can get the job done how you want the job done because it's you. But when you have to allow other people in to make your vision happen, they don't always fall through how you want them to. Yep. And I could see that in the frustration in some of people's posts. And when they say, I'm glad my team was able to pull it together. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. The fact that they said, I'm glad my team was able to pull it together, means that there was some type of bump. The fact that when they're posting up late at 2 a.m. in the morning in their office or something, you know that they're going hard. And even though like a J Nice and a More Jada, they're on this super crazy level of followers and people, they are still very active in their business. I just have to admire that. I don't want it to be like you said, like a fashion over. You don't really know who kind of coined it. And it's so many people involved. It's like, it's nothing dear and relatable.
Let's go to this moment. All right. It's June 4th, 2018. And Lincoln tells you something. What did Mr. Lincoln tell you, Starr?
Nicki Minaj posted your video. I'm dead.
People speaking on family shit they don't even know. You know, I love Wayne, and I love you too, baby. It's Young Money to the death of me, you dig? Wait, wanna know about me? Wanna know about Blood Clot Chun-Li? I'm the bad guy, cause when you hear Nicki Minaj's album, Nicki Minaj wrote it. So I'm the bad guy, cause I got these bitches rocking inches to their ankles. So I'm the bad guy, cause I got these bitches rocking pink weaves. I gave you bitches time to step your cookies up, that shit still stink. Get you some cookie wash, bitch.
So walk us through that. Like, how did that happen? Do you even know? Like, I know you were doing the Chun-Li challenge, right? And it just came organically. Like, how did that happen?
No. So what happened was, and I want to find this DM because I want to shout him. Well, no, maybe I shouldn't shout him out. People are going to be like harassing him. Okay, yeah. I'll leave it alone. When I did the video so long ago. That's why I never thought that it would, surface to her. I did the video on April 23rd, right? I have over 700 comments of people tagging her and she never responded. The other day, she posted snippets of her documentary and she was like, she was getting a massage in one. And I commented and I was like, sis has an in-house masseuse. No wonder your lyrics are always rubbing people wrong. And she commented back to me and said, bitch, like, I'm dead. I got to steal that bar. Like, and I'm like, oh, my mom loves me. Like, cause I call her my mom.
Uh-huh.
My mom loves me. Then she happened to post like one of her producers. So I seen his page. So I sent him my video, my April 23rd video, because I really want her to see that. Like, sis, I could really talk like you. Like, this is crazy. I didn't think he was going to see it. It just so happened that he did see it. And he DM'd me and said, you can thank me later.
What? And you didn't even know, like, what? You didn't even know?
I didn't know yet. It's after the fact that when everything came out, I was like, wow. And so I went and I found him and because my DMs was crazy. So I went and I found him in it and I was like, oh my gosh, this is what you mean? Thank you so much. Like, I was so happy. And I was like, listen, if she wants some cookie wash, she can get it. Because really, when I was coming up with the name of Cookie Wash and I was thinking of different cookie names, one of her lyrics came to mind, step your cookies up before they crumble. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to keep this Cookie Wash name. I like it. Even Nicki Minaj says stuff about cookies. So this is great.
What has the response been like? Because I know earlier this year I interviewed, or not even, was it this year? I forgot. I interviewed Aaliyah Janelle, who was like a heels dancer, and she does a lot. She choreographed the Chun-Li video and was on, I think it was the SNL with Nicki Minaj or whatever. And Nicki Minaj reposting that itty bitty. Have you seen it? The itty bitty piggy choreography.
With her dancing.
Yeah, I had her on the show and she was like, that was a critical moment for her because kind of like you, she had a little following on social media. She was doing her thing, but that gave her this boost and this exposure. Tell us about, I know it's only been like 24 hours, right? But like, what has the response been like so far?
Okay, well, last time I checked, I had 73.5 thousand followers. I currently have 84.9 thousand followers.
Wow.
Hello, do the math. That's like 11,000 plus people.
Wow.
So then it was great because, me and my marketing, the moment I found out and I got off the fact that I'm on Nicki Minaj's page. I said, oh my God, I need to repost one of my videos talking about cookie wash. And I had a great video where I was in a grocery store comparing it to other, products or whatever. And I reposted it. And that video was going crazy. Like right now I have 77,000 views on that video. And then I realized my video, and then I posted a screenshot of my image, my cookie wash on Amazon. I realized, and even in my bio, it only says, Starr, CEO of at Sweet Cookie Wash. And it's so funny, in my bio, it already said before she posted it, step your cookies up before they crumble. That's Nicki Minaj, right? All of that was gravitating people to my business. And in that moment, like what the dancer said, it changed everything because my orders are going through the roof. People that probably knew me that then didn't order because I'm now on Nicki Minaj's pages, she ordered. And to add into the fact that I'm on Nicki Minaj's page, when I was doing the challenge and impersonating her, I said something like, I gave you bitches time to get hot. Step your cookies up. Your shit still stink. Get you some cookie wash.
Yes, you did say that in the video.
Yes. And people in the comments was even like, OMG, cookie wash, crying, laughing, da-da-da-da-da, not realizing it's a real thing. And the part that made me, I was reflecting on it today. And, in her song where she says, I am the generous queen, ask Miss Ellen. She really is the generous queen. That woman did not have to use the repost app and have my name in it.
Yep.
She did not.
She could have done a screen record and just posted it, right? Screen
record. She could have, even when you do the repost app, you can make the video image bigger so it crops out the name.
Mm-hmm.
So all of that to me was so generous, was so amazing, to say the least. Like amazing. It's really amazing is not even a good word, because yesterday I got 200 orders. And it's funny because since probably about the past 2 weeks, every morning I wake up and I tell myself I'm not picking up my phone. I'm talking to God first and I'm manifesting. And every morning I say, growth, God, growth. Enlarge my territory. Growth. And I was telling Lincoln, Jamaicans love me. Trabas, exposed me a lot to them. But I want new people. I want white people. I want Spanish people. I want everyone. And lo and behold, this moment happened. People was calling me, calling the business line yesterday, like, hi, I would like information about the cookie wash.
And are you serious?
I swear to God, I swear to you. And they would be like country accents from, I'm from Oklahoma. I'm from Nashville, Tennessee. I want to know if my baby can use it. She's like 10. She just got a period. And when I'm hearing these people, I'm like, they're not Jamaican. and what I was going to say is something that I always do when I do get business calls. At the end of the call, after advising them, I say, and how did you find out about our company? Just to see what marketing tools are working. And all of them said, oh, well, I saw your post on Nicki Minaj, and then I kind of got to your page and then ended up on Cookie page. And yeah, I don't know. Or if they didn't end up on the Cookie Wash page, they'll say, yeah, well, I was on your page and then I saw one of your photos with the wash and kind of read what it was about. And I just wanted more info.
Listen, girl, I have so many little lessons here. Number one, sometimes you have to hit people up, right? Sometimes you have to send people, because if you never reached out to that producer, right, and didn't put your name out there, this couldn't have happened. You got to have that concrete business line, because you didn't have to have a business number, but it was smart that you did, right? And there is a point when you have to grow beyond your niche. You use your niche, the Caribbean following, Caribbean people. You start there, but you can expand upon that. And then always making sure you're connecting with your customer, asking them, how did you find out about us, is so important. I do that all the time. When someone DMs me for the Dreams and Drive Instagram page, I'll be like, what was your favorite episode? How did you hear about us? Where do you listen to us? You need to do that because you need to understand who your customer is, of course, right?
Yep. That's a fact.
So what's the plan for you now? Like how do you plan to sustain this moment and to leverage it for whatever's next in the in the stars for Starr?
So right now I do work with, I have a PR person, and we had to make our meeting a little early, our usual weekly meeting early, because all this was happening. And the goal right now is to get more influencers on Instagram posting about the wash. Mm-hmm. And I think that we're now blessed to be in an era where you don't have to necessarily be in a store. You know, Instagram is loud. It's a loud platform. So for me, I really just want to be in their face all over the internet. You see me on Nicki Minaj page today. In 2-3 days, you see me on another one, on another big page. It's like, damn, this girl and this little stupid wash keep popping up. Clearly, it's a sign that I need to try it.
And it's also just a health benefit, right? Like, I feel like a lot of us women, especially, we are not educated about our vaginal health, sexual health in general, and making sure that we aren't, I don't want to say poisoning our bodies, but using products that could be harmful or causing more damage. So you're also educating women, especially, and starting a conversation where many women are even scared to say the word vagina. You know what I mean?
Today I got a review that almost brought tears to my eyes. A girl just really poured out to me that she was happy that I cured her BV, and that, she can be confident in the bedroom again.
Bacterial vaginosis, for people who don't know what BV is, right?
Sorry. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Bacterial vaginosis. And if you don't know, BV causes you to have an unpleasant odor, most of the time fishy. Sometimes it's embarrassing to go to the doctor and say, da 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 da. I made it my duty to know what's up with vaginas, because for me, living in America, this is the Jamaican part of me. Living in America, they feed us so much that I see is not substance. In Jamaica, the cure for everything is tea.
Water.
Right. So your chest, something hurts, tea, or maybe some rum and lemon and honey. So it's to me, I have to know remedies, because the medicines you're giving us end up making you just stuck on medicine to the point where the medical industry is growing and you're not getting better. So it's super important to me to educate our women. And that's what one of the women said, that called me. She said, I'm just learning about this pH stuff, and I'm a grown woman. I'm 30. And she's just like, I love that what your page is standing for. And, even though I found you on Nicki Minaj because it's the voice thing, you stuck out to me just simply because of what you're standing for, educating another Black woman, or just women in general, about things going on with our body that, your parents probably don't tell you. I love it. And that made me feel good too. Because my mom didn't talk to me about stuff like this, but I know I'm going to talk about it to everybody.
What's something, reflecting about all that you've gone through, all that you're learning about yourself, like what's something personally that you really are proud of when you look back on how far you've come?
That I didn't give up and I didn't give in, literally. In so many spaces and times I should have literally just gave up and just said, you know what? You have a bachelor's degree. Go get a job. I don't even remember what my damn degree is in. I'm so serious. I was so over college. I told the advisor, whatever classes you can put me in to make me graduate this semester, just do it. Yeah. I didn't care. I could have, when I saw I was broke and I saw there was nothing going on for me, I could have literally just said, I can't do this anymore. I'm going to just be regular, get a job, do that, and try this again later. And a lesson that I want people to take away from this whole thing is, you can't give more than one thing your 100%. We like to think that we can. Have you heard of the the motivational speaker, Eric Thomas, ET?
Mm-hmm. I love him.
So and this is funny, and this is probably another reason I was so driven. When I was leaving college, the last thing that I went to was a free motivational speaking event by him. And he said, you can't give more than one thing your 100%. You can't. It's impossible. You can't be 100% this housewife if you're also at work, because there's going to be some days you have to work late. There's going to be some sacrifices you're going to have to make that don't involve you being in the house, or vice versa. And when he said it, it resonated with me. Like, okay, I'm going to 100% act. And then when I realized I'm not 100% acting, I was like, I'm putting everything into this cookie wash. I'm putting everything into this business. And even when I was dead broken, it didn't seem like I was going to get a return out of it immediately, I still put everything into it, because what you put in is what you get out.
Yep. And I want to do, just because I asked people to send in questions, I was here talking to you and forgot that we had some questions. These will be really quick. This one is coming from, he's Jamaican, so I have to say Leonardo. I don't know how to do that with the Jamaican accent. Maybe you can do it. Leonardo. Anyway. So his question is, have you ever considered rapping? If no, why or why not?
I used to be a rapper. Hello? No kidding. But on a serious note, my love for Nicki Minaj came when I was rapping in high school, because I was going to a high school and everybody said I kind of had like a Nicki Minaj swag. I didn't know who she was yet. And when I found her, I loved her. Then they boosted me up to feel like that I could be a rapper and actor and singer and everything. And I even used to go on Facebook and write like raps and stuff in my thingy. I forgot what it's called, notes thing on Facebook. Mm-hmm. But I just realized music ain't for me. I'm sorry, the industry too much.
Right? It's a lot. It's a lot going on there. All right, this one is coming from It's Philly Baby. I was trying to find her real name, but it's all it says.
Oh, Felicia!
Oh, you know her? Okay. She said, when are you coming out with wipes?
Oh my God. She's always asking that. I actually have wipes. People would kill me if they knew that I was just sitting on wipes. I have wipes. I can't figure out what I want to call them. I can't figure out what I want to call it, or the packaging, how I want to package it. But I have them. Okay, fine. I'll hurry up and do it next month.
This one is Unique Girl Chrissy. She said, when will you be coming to Jamaica?
The end of this month, honeys. I am going to be having a launch party for Cookie Wash. So definitely go on Cookie Wash Jamaica and get all the information.
Okay, so let's go into our lightning round, Starr. So this part of the interview, I know you like improv, so we're going to have a quick improv session. I'm going to give you a word, and I want you to tell me the first thing that comes to mind. And remember, we're sticking with our whole dreams and drive metaphor, okay? So think of the gears in a car. The first word is park.
Not moving.
Reverse.
Going nowhere.
Reverse.
Going back going back into something that you don't need to.
Neutral.
Fear.
And then last but not least, drive.
Going for whatever you want, doing whatever you want, even if you don't know what it is you want yet, just going.
And if you want to be a dream driver, you have to have your keys to success. So Starr, tell me 3 things you think every dream driver needs in their toolkit before they hit the road.
You need ambition. You need positivity. Definitely need a lot of. Can I put positivity and prayer together?
Yeah, do whatever you want, girl.
Positivity and prayer together. Mm-hmm. Ambition, and you need confidence. Definitely confidence.
Thank you so much for coming on. Can you tell our dream drivers where they can, buy a Cookie Wash, find you online, and connect with you if they want to learn more?
Okay, well, you can definitely purchase my Cookie Wash at www.sweetcookies.org. And of course, you can hit your girl on Instagram at Starr Dawkins, StarrDawkins. Yeah. Oh, and if you want to follow the Cookie Wash page, it's at Sweet Cookie Wash. And if you're in Jamaica, it's at Cookie Wash Jamaica.
Yes, girl. Last question. I promise you it's the last question. What is one of your favorite business resources that has helped you just in growing your business and really tackling this entrepreneurial endeavor of yours?
My new fave is Shopify.
Their blog is so good.
Girl, anybody that is in e-commerce, anybody selling anything. I used to love big cartel, but what a God, Shopify is going to change your life.
All right.
Whole life.
I got to get them to sponsor this podcast. Be like, listen, Starr just got reposted by Nicki Minaj.
Nicki Minaj. You might cut us some,
Oh, girl. Oh, can you do like a bye-bye or a something like just give us like a 2-second of that Chumi challenge. Something to end us out.
God. It's on Instagram.
All right. All right. This has been so much fun, Starr. Thank you so, so much.
Thank you for having me. It's been a long time coming. I'm glad we finally did it.
All right, so that's a wrap for episode 155 with Starr. I hope that you enjoyed hearing her dream driving journey as well as her keys to success. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with someone. I'm telling you, you can share on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. You can find us at Dreams and Drive on all those platforms. And I encourage you guys to use the hashtag Dreams and Drive and tag Dreams and Drive when you're sharing so I can see and repost. If you haven't already entered our giveaway, don't forget, we're going to be giving away 1 copy of Charlemagne the God's book, Black Privilege. Opportunity comes to those who create it. Just go to dreamsanddrive.com/win. That's dreamsanddrive.com/win to enter. Also, make sure you are subscribed wherever you're listening. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please leave a review. If this was your first time listening and you enjoyed this Starr episode, I would love to hear what you think about it. So just pop over to the Apple Podcast app. Tell me what you thought about this episode, especially if this was your first time listening. If you guys want more Dream Driver action and want to talk to other Dream Drivers, please join our Facebook group. You can get to that by searching Dream Driver Mastermind the next time you're logged on to Facebook, or just go to dreamsanddrive.com/Facebook. And to join our online newsletter, The Keys, that I send out once a week that has behind the scenes information on the episodes and other good stuff, just go to dreamsanddrive.com/join. My last announcement for the day is just to remember that we still have Dreams and Drive gear available. So if you want a Dreams and Drive t-shirt, sweatshirt, or hoodie, just go to dreamsanddrive.com/shop and then you can shop there. Use the code DREAMER for 10% off on all purchases. Guys, I love just getting your feedback each week. I love having new guests on. I love just seeing how much these shows are impacting you. So continue to reach out, continue to share, continue to be inspired along your own journeys. I know that sometimes it can be hard. I know that sometimes you may want to give up, but just look at Starr's story, right? Things don't always go as planned, but if you have a will within you, if you have a determination, if you work on building resilience and courage and just this will to succeed, you will. Okay, guys, just remember that. Keep dreaming, keep driving, and we'll chat again in episode 156. Bye.
I love Dream Inside.
No. 5, 6, 7, 8.
I love Dreams and Drive.